Good evening and welcome to Bishop Connolly High School, home of the Cougars and home of Friday Night Lights for the first time ever. It's the South D6 quarterfinals and it's here on Fred TV. Hello again everybody, Evan Massoud with you. Thank you for tuning in to Channel 9 for this Fred TV sportscast of high school football. It's the playoffs and the 7-0 Cougars are squaring off against the Mashpee Falcons. Earlier this week, I dropped by practice to see how things were going in preparations for this game, and head coach Anthony Nalen tells me that in his first season, he's sticking with the plan that was brought in the previous coaching. He wanted to really work towards building this team off of what was already in place. So here's Coach Nalen.
This wasn't a down team when I got here. They were very fundamentally sound when I arrived, but we wanted to take the program to the next level, and I think we were able to do that. We have a certain philosophy and scheme that we try to implement, and one of those big things is making sure we get our athletes and playmakers in space. And defensively, we just want to have an aggressive defense, and this team fit the bill very well for that, and it's showing throughout the season. I'm proud of these guys. They work hard, and they deserve everything they get, and hopefully we continue this success against Mashpee.
That was Coach Nalen, head coach for the Bishop Connolly Cougars. Joined now by Coach Ron Gagnon, Coach Bear, as he's affectionately known here in Fall River. So glad that you could join us this evening for the broadcast, Coach.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to this. Especially this first night game, pretty exciting here at Bishop Connolly.
It certainly is. Now, Coach, you're familiar with football, obviously. President of the Fall River Falcons for American Youth Football here in Fall River, the Blackstone Valley Division, and we're thrilled that you're with us tonight. But you work with the kids all the time. This is such a big game, particularly because it's in front of the home crowd. First ever playoff game here at Bishop Connolly. It's basically like the Cougars Super Bowl. What do you think Coach Nalen's message is to the guys before this game?
Well, I'm sure he's telling the kids, not to get over amped up, and stick with the game plan. Sure there's some jitters, but after the first hit or so, I'm sure they'll settle in and play a good solid game. They've played well all year, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this evening.
A 7-0 record, there's really not much more that you can ask for, but particularly down the stretch over the final 4 games, just 8 points allowed in 4 games. That's like unheard of. That is such a run for the defense.
Yeah, the defense has really come on strong. I mean, these young people are very coachable young men. I spent 2 years here with the previous head coach, and they're well coached by Coach Nalen and his staff, but they were a very coachable bunch of young people anyway, so it made his job, I think, a little easier for him.
Now, coming into tonight, it's supposed to be a 7 o'clock kickoff, and we're starting about an hour late due to transportation issues for the Mashpee team, the Falcons bus breaking down, as I understand it. So what do you think that does to the psyche of both sides, really? The Cougars are ramped up. They're thinking 7 o'clock. They're training. They're warming up on the field. Now they got to go and sit. Meanwhile, Mashpee's waiting on the side of the road when they know they're supposed to already be here. That's got to be, messing with both teams.
Yeah, it's got to be difficult. You're ready to go at a certain time, and first it got pushed back to 7:30, and then it was 7:55, and I don't know who that might affect more, the young men sitting in a bus on a highway wondering, are we going to get there, or the young people sitting here waiting for them. It's probably a toss-up on that. We're just going to have to wait and see how this all works out before the evening's over.
My coworker Pam and I have this saying with anything that we do, stories or live sports, is you just can't make this stuff up.
No, you're right there. That's the beautiful thing about sports. It is an unpredictable situation. I know these kids were excited with the lights and everything. There's been a lot going on here this week. The field's been painted twice. It got washed out by the rainstorm Wednesday night.
I know.
So we were scrambling this morning to get it back up and running, and we're good to go, and I think the young men on the sideline will be good to go too.
And kudos to you and the grounds crew, because I know that you had a hand in getting this field ready, and it does look fantastic because we had so much rain Wednesday night, just 2 nights ago, and the field really does look great. You mentioned the lights. Here's some facts for you about the lights. Kevin Dooley, owner of Bay State Equipment, brought in these lights. They're stationed out of Quincy. They also have a Plymouth location. These lights are 30 feet tall. They're construction lights, so they run on a generator, which actually, luckily, it's not that loud. I thought it would be much louder. Each bulb is 1,000 watts, and there's 4 on each stanchion. And for Kevin Dooley, this is his 15th year owning this company. They go all over Southern Mass and Eastern Mass, and this is just one of their things that they do. They do contractual work, but on the side, this is something they do for schools and teams that don't have lights. So it's really cool. And one of the little-known facts I found out when I was here talking with Kevin is that Kevin is the offensive coordinator for the Cohasset football team. So go figure the irony in this, that Kevin's construction company is helping us out, and we may face Cohasset down the road, depending on how things pan out tonight.
Yeah, I get to speak with him a little bit the other day, and I thanked him for the loss last year that they put upon us. But yeah, it's funny the people you meet, around this sport. You never know. You never know who's going to pull up and say hello.
And I have to say, Kevin, really great guy, and you can tell he's all about the kids, which is really what it is all about as we get ready here for the coin toss at midfield. Football long awaited here. We've been waiting for about an hour, and we're so thrilled that this one's about to get underway. So looking at the bracket for this year in South Division 6, Cohasset is actually the #1 seed, and they won the Super Bowl last year. So they're the defending champs. They're at the top of the bracket. Meanwhile, Connolly seeded #3, squaring off against #6, Mashpee. Captains meeting at midfield. For the visitors, they have 6 captains. #2, Billy McNamara. #5, Deshaun Dias. #8, Dominic Castle. #60, Anthony Rivera. #65, Andrew Vinitsky. And #67, Justin Rose. The Mashpee Falcons are coached by Matt Treveri. And for the Bishop Connolly Cougars, the usual 4. #3, Trey Morris. #4, Kevin Sullivan. #52, Trevor Reese. And #59, Adam Deliker. And as mentioned, Cougars head coach, first-year head coach for the Connolly Cougars, Anthony Nalen. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association is committed to good sportsmanship. Sportsmanship, citizenship, and responsibility are the trademarks of high school activities. Support school activities with your own display of good sportsmanship and help encourage America's youth to accept the responsibility which freedom demands. Support your local high school. See the future of America on display and attend high school competitions in your community. And that was a quick message you may have heard on the public address announcer there. That was Fall River Mayor Sam Sutter. We're getting ready for the coin toss now. He's joined by the principal of the school, Christopher Myron, waiting alongside the officials and captains out on the field.
We certainly have a beautiful night for a game.
We do. Not much better we could ask for. This is fairly mild in comparison to what we've dealt with earlier this season. Even just last week over at Durfee, when we were there, it was quite cool. Right now at game time, no precipitation in sight, which is a good thing. 52 degrees and clear skies above. Of course, with the artificial lights, we can't see any stars tonight.
No, the stars will be on the gridiron this evening.
Absolutely. Captains for both sides shaking hands, wishing each other luck. while the officials are showing the coin to the players. Coach, you know, each team has their own little pregame ritual while they're waiting for the coin toss. And you see the Cougars, arms are linked as one, and that's something that Coach Nalen also talked about, that this team, it doesn't happen without team.
No, they're a united bunch. You know, like I say, having coached here for a couple of years, it's amazing how close these young guys are. You know, they're like brothers, honest and truly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have Connolly players and young men from Westport, and you know, you'd never know that they were going to different schools. They're just a real tight-knit group of young men.
Been a real special group of players that have come out of Connolly over the last few years, going back to when the basketball team won the state title. And, you know, you're still seeing it here. The coin toss was won by the Falcons, and they elect to defer. So the Cougars will get the ball to start this game, and that's got to feel good for Connolly, too, if they can march down the field and grab the score right out of the chute.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I mean, a lot of coaches prefer to go defense first.
Mm-hmm.
That way you get the ball in the second half. But, you know, if Connolly can put a nice drive together and get some points on the board early, you know, that's a good thing. It speaks well.
At this time, we're going to have the singing of the national anthem as we honor the red, white, and blue, just like we do every time right before kickoff.
The people from the schools they represent in their communities. Bless the cheerleaders, the fans. Bless the parents and loved ones of our players. Bless the gentlemen who will be officiating the game. And above all, Heavenly Father, bless us all. You are our source of support and love. Yesterday and today, tomorrow and forever.
That was Monsignor Thomas Harrington, chaplain of the Fall River Fire Department. Lives here at the Cardinal Medeiros residence, retired priest, giving us a benediction prior to kickoff. And now we'll have the singing of the Star Spangled Banner. Beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner by one of the Connolly students. Easily, Coach, I'd say the biggest crowd that we have had here at Bishop Connolly for any football game.
I'd have to agree. I know the parking lots are full down below. A lot of people on the track. Stands are full. Great night. Let's get it going.
There are actually even some temporary bleachers that were brought up from the baseball field down behind us, and that's where the Cougars' 12th man, the student body, chanting they'll be down on the track on those bleachers making way for spectators up here. So their presence will be felt down on the right side of the field. And they'll have a great look at the Cougars. Harold Beckford and Trey Morris as they're back deep, waiting to receive this opening kick from number 8, Dominic Castle.
This is where you get rid of those pregame jitters.
That's right. Once the clock starts, there's no stopping.
Yeah.
Well, except for maybe the occasional timeout, right? Normally 10-minute quarters during the regular season. 11-minute quarters here in the playoffs. It's a low-line drive kick, bounces at the 35, and it is taken. Oh, a fumble right out of the chute. Looks like the Cougars were able to get it back. I believe that was Cameron Reese.
Yeah, I think Harold Bickford's the one that got on the ball.
Nonetheless, Connolly able to avoid a disastrous start. They do get the fumble recovery there on the return. They'll have decent field position. Ball spotted right at the 30-yard line. Kevin Sullivan, the quarterback. Look for Connor Brown, Cameron Reese, and Jay McClure, numbers 24, 28, and 6. They tend to get a lot of carries out of the backfield. There's Beckford in motion. He's going to get the first carry, and he's taken down in the backfield.
They blew that up. It looks like they brought a backer up the middle there.
Falcons with the pass rush right out of the chute. Cougars not passing, so the run game stopped on the first snap of the ball game. Ends up being a loss of about 5. So 2nd and 15. There are the 3 backs right around Sullivan. Number 4 going to pass. Oh, swatted away. Great job there, number 86. Joseph Spinola getting the hand on that, forcing a 3rd and long. So as you said, Coach, most teams elect to go on defense early and get a look at the other team's offense, and here the Falcons poised for a 3 and out.
Yeah, that'd be big. They nailed them for that 4 or 5 yard loss, that first play. Nice defensive play by the DN. They seem to be pretty athletic. I know they have good team speed, so.
Sullivan with pressure gets the pass off. It is complete, but it's going to be shy. That was to Chathan Nera, and it's about a 10-yard pickup. So if they didn't lose those yards on that first carry, that would have been good for a first down, or it would have been a lot closer. It ends up being about an 8-yard carry, and the Cougars will have to punt. The Falcons with a pair deep and around their own 30-yard line. Almost an offside. We saw one of the linesmen jump there. Good line drive punt. A missed tackle and an end around for number 5, Deshaun Dias, all the way on the Cougars side of the field. Almost to where the Cougars line of scrimmage was. So that was a nice return. Close to a 30-yard return for Dias. And the Falcons will have great field position on the Cougars side of the field in their first possession. Oh, there was a flag in the backfield. I did not see that. So what a huge break for Bishop Connolly. The ball's going to be taken back right to about where Dias caught it at the 35. Yeah, that's a big-time break.
Looks like it was a block in the back, Evan.
See that so often, Coach, on the returns, and sometimes it's inadvertent. Just send them full speed ahead, end up hitting somebody. Not even on purpose. So the Falcons lose a 30-yard return, or about 30 yards on the return. They'll have to start from the 35, and I believe that's Dias. It is Dias, and the Cougars defense with a nice stop on first down. So both teams snuffing out the run on the first carry.
Yeah, they're both flexing the muscle right now.
I'd say more than the offense, I think this will be a bigger test for the defense for Connolly. They've really had their way with their opponents over the last 4 weeks, but that was in the Mayflower League Division 6. This is Division 6, the best of. So, and Mashpee seated again, number 6. Look at that tackle. Trey Morris.
Fumble.
And there was, yes, the ball did come loose. Trey Morris knocked it out.
I think they're ruling it down by contact.
Yep.
A Cougar did get on that ball, but
That was Trey Morris who tripped up the runner. He was headed towards us, towards the near sideline for another sweeping run, and Morris stopped him in his tracks.
yeah, it looked like he got a little shaken up on that tackle. They're taking a look at him.
Yeah, it was a hard hit.
Jay McClure replacing him.
Brings up a 3rd and 4, and the defense chant from the Cougars sidelines will be heard loud and clear here at the Caron Track and Stadium. And now a timeout taken. Wow, early in the game, Falcons making sure that they're all set on 3rd and 4. They call an early timeout.
Officials for tonight's game, the referee is Jim Ashley, our umpire, Dustin Cormier, the head linesman, Noah.
Yeah, Jay McClure, that's a young man transferred in from Stang. Last year was his first year here. Tough little kid, tough, gritty little guy. He's had a good year with running the ball. Very, very tough on defense.
McClure had, if I recall, he had a ball that got loose on him last week against Blue Hills, and he came out and sat right after that play. And then the next time he went in, he was in almost the rest of the ball game. He had some great carries for big chunks of yards as the Falcons carry, and the Cougars stop him on 3rd down.
Oh, yeah.
And there is Jay McClure. He was right in there. So was Kevin Sullivan. This is going to be a close 4th down play, probably 4th and maybe even less than a yard, because they're at like the half-yard mark between the 45 and 44. And it looks like the Falcons are going to go for it.
Yeah, probably a half yard to go. This is a big play for the defense here. You got to watch out for that quick snap, that quarterback sneak.
I know, amazingly, with teams running the ball so much in high school sports, you don't see the quarterback sneak too often. It's really not something that I've gotten to see that often. They do hand it off.
And it looks like
I don't think they
them.
got
They
it. Coach
stopped them.
Nayland saying, I don't think so. We'll wait for the official call.
Oh, it looks like the spot's over the line.
It does look like it. I didn't think he got there.
Neither did I.
Of course, there's no challenges here in high school football. Coach Nayland can express maybe any disgust if he doesn't agree with the call, but everybody on the Cougars sidelines thought it was not going to be a conversion, and they literally got 1 yard out of that. It was just enough on forward progress. So Mashpee moves the chains on a 4th and inches. They're across the 45, heading towards midfield. Nick Carpenter, number 3, is the quarterback. Have not seen him pass yet. And there's a flag.
Delay a game.
It's funny that's what the call was, because I was just about to say that Mashpee really very deliberate, huddling up for quite a while, and then they finally come to the line. And sure enough, a delay of game. That'll back up the Falcons 5 yards, so 1st and 15 now.
Yeah, that previous play, number 3, the quarterback, he came in late from the sideline with that play, and that's not on the young men on the field. Sometimes that's on the coach. Quick pitch.
That's to Dias, trying to cut in from the outside. They'll get the penalty yards back as they land. He lands about at the 45, so right about the original line of scrimmage. So the 5 yards are back, bringing up a 2nd and 10. Deshaun Dias, a senior running back, one of the 6 captains for Mashpee. 5'9", 200 pounds. Tough to tackle. Ends up being a 6-yard pickup, so 2nd and 9 officially.
I see Trey Morris has re-entered the game.
That's good to see. The Cougars need him out there. And there's a power run up the middle. Dias still on his feet across midfield, tackled across the first down imaginary line. They'll move the chains again.
A nice little spin move at the end of that run to get that extra yardage.
Saw Beckford breaking kind of to jump the line a little bit on the left side, and Dias was already by him, so it was a good attempt. He had the right idea, but Dias just too strong on that run. So from the Cougar 43, 1st and 10, Falcons. They'll pitch it out to Dias again. Why not? It's working for them right now. That's about a 6-yard pickup.
Yeah, Cougars going to have to adjust to that team speed by Mashpee. You know, you got to get a better flow over to that football, seal that up.
Well, one of the things about it is that if Mashpee can establish the run, then you have the defense thinking of it, and that's when you open up the passing game. So, to your point, Cougars need to nail it down early and force Mashpee to have to throw the ball. We've got a 2nd and 4 coming up. Dice with it again, wide open. There's a hold. Number 2, Billy McNamara had Trey Morris wrapped up, but the official didn't see it. Sure looked like a hold to me.
Yeah, he did. He had his arms wrapped around him. Wasn't sure if they were going dancing or playing football there.
The men in pinstripe missed that one, and it ends up being another 1st down for the Falcons. I mean, we could argue that there's holding on every play. It's just how blatant it is, right?
Yeah, and that was pretty. that one was pretty out there. So
1st and 10 from about the 30. Mashpee continues to move. Dias continues to get the carries, and talk about a power forward. He knocked down a couple of Cougars on that run. He'll pick up about 4 or 5 on that carry.
Yeah, it looked like Sean O'Connor was one of the young men that got laid out on that.
It was the tight end, 6'6". He's hard to tackle too, but Dias took him down. Quite the height difference there. I know Mashpee, they're not really the tallest team. It sure looks like the Cougars are taller overall in terms of height, but the ground game working for Mashpee right now. So again, why change it up? Dias going, diving deep again, and he's going to get stopped.
Tell you, the whistle seemed to be a little late here.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking the same thing.
Forward progress was stopped and no whistle.
And that's where you kind of chance sometimes that, you could get an injury after the fact when it's just really not necessary.
Exactly.
But to the same point, let's say kudos to the players because they're playing both sides, playing until the whistle. They're not just giving up on it. And we see that sometimes too. 3rd and about 3 for the Falcons. One would think if the Cougars stop them here that they will go for it on 4th down as well. This time, number 31. Oh, what a hit. Laid on number 31 on the catch. Jason Andrade was leveled right at about the line of scrimmage to bring up 4th down.
I think that was big Josh Ortiz that gave him the tattoo. A young man that came here from Georgia, lives in Newport, commutes every day.
Ortiz, 6'4", 284 pounds. So, yes, definitely an anchor in the middle there. And on 4th and about 3, Falcons will go for it. But first, we'll have a timeout on the field. Taken by the Cougars this time. So both teams using a timeout here in this first quarter. We got 1:58 on the clock. This has been a fast first quarter.
Well, I might be making up for that breakdown on the highway here, trying to get caught back up.
Exactly. Well, the ground game does keep the clock rolling, and Mashpee pounding it up the middle. They're not getting outside, so they're not getting out of bounds where it could stop the clock.
Yeah, there haven't been a lot of penalties, and there's been no injuries so far. Hopefully there won't be any for the rest of the evening, and that does move the clock along.
So a big spot for Bishop Connolly's defense right here. Mashpee did convert on 4th and inches earlier in this drive. This one will be a little more than 2 yards, so the scoreboard says 3, and that's what we'll go with. 4th and 3 for the Falcons. And again, very deliberate coming out of the huddle.
Yeah, they are. Is that
They
pitch
pitch
again?
it out to Andrade.
All
Andrade
right.
falls back. The Cougars, with no flags, will take over on downs. And you know what? With all that rain, that might have played into it. The pocket could still be a little soft.
That it was Trevor Reese on that stop. And, you know, speaking of the rain, being a groundskeeper here, that end of the field is a little softer than the other side. It was a little slick this morning when I was out here.
Poor Andrade, I'll tell you, he just totally lost his footing and his feet went right out from under him. And that'll happen sometimes. Cougars get the stop this time on 4th down. We remain scoreless here. Just under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Connolly will take over from inside the 25. Sullivan will begin under center this time. And it's a running play on 1st down. Does not get very far. That looked like McClure.
Yeah, it was number 6 on the carry.
And McClure gets right back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. So Cougars not having any positive yardage, really. They got backed up on their first carry on that opening drive, a 3 and out. And now here, stopped at the line. Sullivan drops back now. A quick pass up the middle. That's complete.
Colby Hawes.
To Colby Hawes, number 81. Forward progress should get him to about the 35, and that'll be about 2 yards shy of the 1st down. Nice pass right up the middle for Sullivan through the traffic.
Yeah, he's been throwing the ball a lot better the last 3-4 weeks. He's really starting to come into his own. Colby Hawes is one of them young men out of Westport High School that's, you know, eligible to play here.
3rd and 2. Cougars trying to punch it up the middle, and they do convert on 1st down, or no?
Yeah,
There are a
looks
few
like
Cougars that got across.
looks like the spot's a favorable one.
Yeah, we see the linesman coming up from the bottom of your screen. First down. There you go. So Connolly moves the chains for the first time in the ball game. It was close. It was tough to see some of the Cougars went across, but they didn't have the ball. The ball was behind them. They were creating the seam. So it was a tough angle there. 1st and 10. They fake the handoff to Morris. Sullivan leaves the pocket, throws on the run. And that'll be good for about 4 yards. With 10 seconds, that'll do it here in the first quarter. Time will expire, the horn will sound, and we'll switch sides with a 2nd and 6 coming up.
Yeah, so far it's been a real fast pace. Connolly's offensive line has got to start to dig in and handle that defensive front from Mashpee. Right now the advantage has been to Mashpee.
And I got to tell you, too, that was probably the fastest 11 minutes of football, and that was with 2 timeouts, mind you. That was probably the fastest 11 minutes of football I think I've ever seen in covering high school sports. First quarter was a blur. Second quarter, again, coming up here on Fred TV Channel 9. It's the South D6 quarterfinals here at Bishop Connolly High School between the Cougars and the Mashpee Falcons. Evan Massoud and Coach Bear with you here for the broadcast this evening. In the MIAA, a well-rounded education is one that is not only academically oriented, but one that also includes physical, social, and emotional development. Interscholastic athletes provide the other half of education. The MIAA encourages you to support your local high school athletic teams throughout the school year. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Cougars on their second possession of the game. After the 4th down stop of the Falcons, Connolly looking to break this scoreless tie here as we begin the second quarter. 11 minutes, still halftime. Sullivan awaiting the snap. Reese switches sides. Sullivan keeps it himself. We've seen that a lot this year. And he runs into the pile, and then I think that's going to end up being a loss. Well, the linesman coming out might have gotten right back to the line of scrimmage, but was not a good carry.
He actually might have even grabbed one. Looking at the chains and where the marker just moved to.
Yeah, so there you go. They do give him a 1 yard gain on that. Forward progress. But I'll tell you one thing, that the middle just totally collapsed on him. Couldn't go anywhere. So a 3rd and 5 now. Jay McClure in the backfield. Looks like Cougars is set up to pass. Watch the pass rushers from the bottom half of the screen. Number 44 there of the defense. Jack Rodriguez, they'll pass. Oh, and it's in and out of the hands of Alec Kafori. Number 15 was the intended receiver on 3rd down, and the Cougars will bring out special teams. They'll punch it away for the 2nd time tonight.
Yeah,
4th and 5 on that side of the field, Coach. Just not a good gamble.
No, not a good gamble. And Kevin looked like a little quick with the trigger on that. Kafori was just about to break open.
That Mashpee line is they're tough in the early goings. We're seeing it, so that might have caused Sullivan to have to rush it just a little bit. That's a great punt, a little
nice
knuckler.
Kick, nice kick.
And will it stay out of the end zone? It will. Wow, look at this. Mashpee is going to be back inside the 5. A great punt. Special teams getting it done for the Cougars. And actually, that corner of the field just a little bit darker as well. Looking at the lights, they do aim them, they position them, but that one corner of the field, that end zone, is just a little darker than the left side. So Mashpee will have to start in the woods, I guess we'll say.
Definitely in the shadows. Yeah, I don't know who the kicker was on that. I don't know if that was Matt Cliff or not.
And it was hard to see the number. He was at a 90-degree angle to us, but it was a beautiful kick as the Falcons will run it out front.
Oh, what a hit. What a hit.
Going down is Dias after a 3-yard pickup down at the 5.
No, I think he might have lost some yardage on that.
Oh, yes, he ran out of the end zone, almost to safety.
That was almost.
Good catch, Coach. My eyes deceived me that time. That was almost to safety for the Cougars. Doesn't look like the line marker moved, so I think he got back to the line of scrimmage. So we'll go 2nd and 10 from the 2. Mashpee backed way up after that punt. They'll hand it off again, try to get it out of the end zone. And another nice stop on the run by the Cougars defense.
Yeah, it looked like number 59, Adam Delica, on that. Also on that hit just prior to that was the same young man. Real good linebacker. Tough kid.
We spoke with Adam and Kevin at practice as well. And they definitely, they too, all about football. You can tell it's all about the team with the Cougars, and really solid group here. They've come together nicely. And like I said before, I've been covering, this is my 4th football season here in the city, and each year the Cougars have gotten better. Going to the air, all kinds of contact, and it's incomplete. I don't see any flags. Chethan Nera with sensational coverage right there. In fact, he got in front of the intended receiver, which was number 8, Dominic Castle. He almost pulled off a pick.
Oh, yeah, he looked like he was running the pass route on that.
I know.
Chethan just returned last week. Chethan just returned last week. He had been out with a minor injury, and they figured they'd hold him, for the end of the season rather than take a chance on making the injury worse. What a big play, though. Kicking deep in their end zone here.
4th down. They'll punt from the end zone. It's going to land at about the 35, and on one bounce, Beckford picks it up. Going to cut back in. There is a flag, so this one could come back as Beckford is leveled at the 30. I have to say, too, Chethan had been doing the kicking for extra points and for field goals, and he won, if you recall, last year against Southeastern. The Cougars last year in the quarterfinals won in OT thanks to a field goal from Chethan. And this year, Matt Cliff coming in as the underclassman, getting the experience and working his way up as the kicker.
Yeah, it's funny because last year we would do Matty and Chethan, we'd be kicking extra points in practice. And Matty used to give Chethan quite a go for his money. The ball just seemed to explode off his foot on those extra points. That's a tough break on that. And pushes them back to that 45-yard line.
Now, luckily for Connolly, though, after that stop and the great punt, which really forced this 3 and out, they're starting on Mashpee's side of the field. So it's great field position. Going for Chathan Nera, and he's
there
tripped
should
up.
be a flag
that
on that.
should be pass interference, and they're going to say no. Oh, my gosh. Coach Nalen didn't agree. I don't know how much more contact you need to get a flag on that. Nera was tripped up. I think that's a pretty bad non-call. So that's on both sides. You saw number 24 there playing to the Cougars bench a little bit, Devon Ford, a freshman who was covering Chathan Nera. 2nd and 10 on what should have been pass interference in my eyes. Fake the handoff to Morris. Sullivan going right back to Chathan. And does he come down with it inbounds?
He grabbed it. No way.
No.
Come on. That's 2 tough calls in a row here. As an old coach, I never met a zebra I really cared for.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I've never heard that one before. Yeah, that was tough. Again, he was bobbling it, and maybe the toe might have slipped out of bounds again. No replays here, no challenges in high school football, so we play with the call on the field, and you hope it doesn't come back to bite you later. 3rd and 10 for Connolly. Sullivan going to the air on these first two snaps of this possession, trying to open the field up a bit. Here comes a pass rush. Up the middle it goes, and that is complete to number 81.
Kobe Hawes.
Kobe Hawes, the junior. And the Cougars get down to right where that pass interference non-call was, so I guess it's poetic justice that Connolly ends up down inside the red zone.
Yeah, that was, 28-yard completion. Nice job.
And again, Sullivan threading the needle, not going to the sidelines, going right up the chute. A low line drive pass, those can sometimes get tipped. We saw that happen in the first drive. This one, though, complete to Hawes. Cougars looking to break a scoreless tie here in the second quarter. Sullivan drops back to pass again. Brown with the block. Nera!
Nice catch. Nice catch. Yeah.
Nera comes down with it. So he gets his little bit of justice as well. Comes down with it inbounds inside the 5. The Cougars are knocking on the door. 1st and goal from the 5.
I think they've actually got it down on a 4.
Down on the 4, we'll give him the yard.
Yeah, we'll take it.
1st and 4. Connor Brown spins, and Connor Brown falls just short of the end zone. Might have picked up a yard or 2.
Yeah, Connor's got to run with his pad level a little lower there. He's got that Eric Dickerson style of running straight up and down.
Got to lean forward so you can fall forward.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where you grab those extra little bits of yardage. He did get one on that, so we'll call it 2nd and goal from the 3. Sullivan under center.
Jay McClure.
And McClure is in
for the end zone.
Touchdown, Bishop Connolly.
All right.
A 45-yard drive for the Cougars. They had a little controversy, but it's all good and well here at the Caron Track and Stadium as the Cougars strike first with 6:45 rather on the clock.
There's a nice lead block on that by number 28.
That was Cameron Reese.
Cameron
who
Reese
opened it up for McClure, and Matt Cliff will be asked to make it 7-0. Sullivan holds the ball for him. Kick is up. Kick is good. So Bishop Connolly, the higher seed, that's why they get the home field advantage. They score right in front of their home fans who are on this side of the field and lead it 7-0 after the great punt and the great 3 and out on defense.
Yeah, field position. It could be key in a game like this. And, to take the lead, way before the half, get another 3 and out, maybe you get another score, takes away that advantage of deferring to the second half,
Absolutely, and that's a good point, is that if Connolly can get one more defensive stop and they finish the half scoring points, it really changes things for for Mashpee coming in at the half, knowing they get possession, but now they're down by 2.
Right.
2 scores. So Cougars will kick off for the first time in the game. Now, in doing games this season, I've noticed that Beckford and Cliff been kind of trading off the kickoff duties. Beckford goes with the squib kick, and Matt Cliff sends it down the field. Coach Nalen told me that they're probably going to stick with Beckford with the squib kick, so though now it's Matt Cliff ready to kick it off. So we'll see what happens, but Coach Nalen saying that Mashpee, one of the best returning teams in the division.
Pooch.
A little pooch is
kick.
right. They don't want...
Oh, he called for fair catch. He called for a fair catch. Should be a flag. There we go.
There it is. He called for fair catch. That was a late fair catch signal, and the Cougars piling in on them. They couldn't stop in time anyway if they tried, so they'll have to take the flag. But Coach Nalen said they wanted to avoid any deep kickoffs because of the special teams coverage on the returns, knowing how good Mashpee is on the returns, and that's why you just saw that as well. They did not kick it all the way down the field.
I believe that's going to be only a 5-yard penalty.
Actually, you know what? That penalty's backing up the receiving team, so that was not on a fair catch.
Yeah, the receiving team called fair catch, and then tried to advance
tried
the
to
ball,
run it.
so they refer to that as delay a game.
I see here. My initial thought, I thought it went on the Cougars for the hit after the fair catch, because you can't touch them after the fair catch either.
Right.
So that's what I was looking at. You saw it differently. That's why you're the coach. And there's the first pass of the game.
Oh, blocking the back.
Tackle down across the 45. The first pass attempt of the game is complete to number 22, Emmett Sweeney, the fullback, and Mashpee not wasting any time. They get across midfield. 1st and 10 from the Cougars' 43. So the Falcons looking to answer. They go to the air. That's Falcons do.
Yeah.
Here's our first punt of the night. We'll see how many we
There
get.
you go.
Carpenter gives the handoff. And some running room for Dias. Dias is going to fall just shy of the 10-yard line. So a nice power run for Deshaun Dias. Mashpee in the red zone in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, that was number 24. Missed that tackle. He went low.
Connor Brown missing the tackle there, number 24.
You got to wrap that young man up. He's too good to let him run free.
Cougars defense a little bit in disarray. Nobody lined up. Nobody was lined up there. Dias takes the ball. He's across the 10, but he's shy of the goal line. It'll be 2nd and 6 from what looks to be the 8. Heard the public address announcer saying from the 9. He's actually down the other end of the field, so he's got a better look at it. So 2nd and 6 from the 9. Handed off again,
nice
and Dias is stopped. All the Cougars pouncing on Dias that time.
Yeah, initial hit was number 59, Adam Deliker again. He's having himself a good night defensively.
He is. We saw Trevor Reese there, 52. Cameron Reese, number 28, was also in there. So now 3rd down and 5, we'll say. Looks like it's at the 8 now. They did get a little bit of progress. So 3rd and 5. This definitely 4-down territory for the Falcons. Dias in the backfield again. This time they'll pass. They go to the outside and tackled in the backfield.
Great play by Trevor Reese.
I believe that was to Andrade, number 31. They went with the little screenplay there to the outside. And that backs up Mashpee. They lost 4. It's going to be 4th and 10.
That was a Great play by Reese. He sniffed that out, peeled off, and made the stop.
So it's 4th and 10. They got to get 12 yards to go to the end zone. So ball at the 12, 4th and 10. Tough spot. You have to think end zone here. They'll pass to the corner, and it's reeled in. Number 8, Dominic Castle, with the reception in the corner. He broke free. The pass was floated beautifully by Nick Carpenter, and the Falcons answer with 6 points. We'll see if they can tie it up or perhaps take the lead. That was a beautiful pass. And no kicker coming out, so it looks like they'll be going for 2 and trying to take the lead outright.
Yeah, their quarterback's over there talking to the coach, so he must have something up his sleeve here.
The touchdown came with 3 minutes and 35 seconds to play here in the half. 7-6, the Cougars lead temporarily. We can't say it's permanent because the Falcons looking to take the lead with a 2-point conversion. Carpenter under center. Fakes the handoff, gonna pass to the corner. Picked
Intercepted.
off! Jathan Nera with the interception. Can he get by? No, he's tackled by number 3. Nick Carpenter, the quarterback, with the tackle. All kinds of flags coming in.
Oh, it's like a 4th of July of flags.
I know.
There.
Fireworks of flags going off on the Cougars sidelines here. But the bigger thing for Bishop Connolly, they hold the lead. 2-point conversion, no good. Now the officials
There's another
talking it over.
Another great defensive play by Jathan Nera.
Nera coming out for, looks like a drink of water or Gatorade. Well deserved after the pick to preserve the Cougars' 1-point lead here in the latter half of the first half.
You got the Mashpee coach over there talking to the referee. I don't know what about. There was a man down inside the 10 from Mashpee.
Picking up the flags, here comes the call.
Personal foul.
That's a personal foul. Didn't see the official point to either side, though.
No, it kind of laid his
I'm
hand.
getting mixed signals, Coach.
I just saw the arm in front of his chest. So I don't know if
Exactly.
it was Mashpee or marking
maybe
it
it was
off
on-
like it is.
I'd say it might have been on both sides. Maybe there was something on both sides.
No, I think it's going to be Mashpee kicking from the 25. So it was definitely against Mashpee. Unless I'm mistaken, he's coming back with it. They seem to be confused. Yeah.
So you've been on the field before, Coach. What did the officials discuss when you see all these flags being thrown? They must have seen something, but then they huddle up and they discuss. What are they usually discussing?
Oh, they're talking about what time they're going to meet later at the campfire. And yeah, well, they'll get together and they'll talk to the different referees that threw a flag. What did you see? What did you see? And try to sort it out to get the call right.
They want to get it right. Now, so it looks like it must have been on Connolly.
It definitely was on Connolly.
Because when do you ever see a kickoff on the return team's side of the field?
Not very often.
Little squib kick. And it's taken just shy of the 30. So actually that worked out pretty well for Bishop Connolly, if you ask me.
Probably 27-yard line, I guess.
Yeah, that did not go very far.
Which is not bad. No, that could have been a lot worse.
I was expecting them to boot it and maybe get a touchback. And then Connolly starting at the 20. They'll have 80 yards to go, but they get the benefit of an extra 7. 3:34 on the clock. The Cougars lead by 1 as they head back out on the field. The offense hoping to go down the field 2 times in a row now at the end of the half.
Now, if they keep their composure, they can do this. This is reminiscent of the Salem game earlier this year. Very close game at the first half.
It was. That was a real tight game. Very entertaining to watch. Sullivan hands it off on first down.
To McClure.
So interesting, McClure getting some of the carries tonight. We really haven't seen Brown or Reese, Cameron Reese that is, getting too many snaps. And Coach Nayland was also talking about Cameron, that Cameron did not play as many snaps earlier in the season. Last year, come playoff time, he was wore out.
Oh, yeah,
worn
he
out.
was.
This year, he didn't play as early in the season, as many snaps. They've been running him later this year, so now he's fresh. So I'd like to see him kind of explode onto the scene here as we head into the second half. They're going to target Beckford, passes behind him. Look at that cut to the 40, still on his feet, a spin move. Holding the ball. Whistles come in shy of the 50, a first down, and then some. What a run for Beckford.
Yeah, there were a couple of really nice moves on that. Referees are talking to number 22 as he went by Beckford there. Looked like he took a punch at him.
Yeah, emotions running high, and you expect that in a sudden death game like this, but the officials, we credit them for keeping everybody under control. And and that goes back to, like I said, when they're meeting, it's all about getting it right, because the last thing you want is to go home at night and say, did I cost the team the win? So we give the officials don't have a very forgiving job, and I have to be honest, I would never want it. I enjoy my view from the booth, and we credit them for doing the best job that they can. Bad snap!
Oh.
Sullivan is going to have to. Oh, there's a flag, which means the play is dead.
Yeah.
And that should be a false start, and the Cougars might actually get a break out of this.
Well, procedure on us, so it's only going to be a 5-yard loss instead of down around the 30-yard line.
So wow. So talk about a break. Never. I bet Coach Dale has never been so happy to see a flag.
Really?
So instead of a 20-yard loss or a possible turnover, it's just a 5-yard loss and a repeat of first down.
Exactly. That's a little easier to live with.
I'll tell you, Beckford on that run looking a little bit like.
Penalty. 12 men in a huddle. Going to be on Connolly. They broke the huddle with 12 men, automatic penalty.
Hawes was running off the field, hoping he wouldn't be seen. So another 5 yards. It'll be first and 20. I'll tell you, Beckford, though, on that last catch and run, looking like Deion Lewis of the Patriots this past Thursday against Miami. He had some incredible runs. And Beckford pulling off the spin moves, the juking left and right, cutting back in. Looking like the pros right there. Sullivan, lots of time. Nobody home, though. That was going towards Kafori, it looked like.
Yeah.
And I think Kafori cut in, make his little hook slant there. I think he might have cut in a little too close. Had to go a little further upfield. Sullivan missed him by about 5 yards, brings up second and 20. A minute 38 on the clock, so the Cougars at the very least hoping they can hold the ball until the end of the half and leave the field with the 1-point lead, knowing that the Falcons will get the ball to begin the second half. Sullivan with the snap. Oh, he fakes the handoff. I thought Reese had it. Sullivan getting dragged down. He was dragged down by the neck. The defender dragged him down. He had him around the back of the helmet. That stops the clock with 90 seconds, so it's as good as a timeout. Cougars have the opportunity to not have to rush it. 3rd and 15. Right at the 35. They got to get to the Mashpee 40. Actually, they're a yard shy of the 35, so 45 rather. 3rd and 16. Sullivan trying to go end around. Now he'll throw on the run. It is caught. And it's good for the first down. It should be. There's a flag. That might be a personal foul.
Yep. Yeah.
Looked like a late hit. Or maybe even a horse collar because he spun him out of bounds. I think the Falcons got away with one on the hit to Sullivan on the last snap. This time, doesn't look like they'll get away with it.
Yeah, there's been a few questionable missed calls by the officials tonight with the Falcons, and that usually balances out before the night's over.
Yes, absolutely.
We got personal foul on the Falcons. You got it. Good call.
So they had enough
So
for the
it's-
first down anyway. The Cougars now will get the bonus of the penalty yards.
About
and they'll-
24, 27-yard line.
Yeah, so they're knocking on the door to the red zone with 1:21 on the clock. Plenty of time to score. The Cougars have only used one timeout this half.
Yeah, and they've been running that no huddle there last few plays, so
I like it. Keep the pressure on.
this is where this young man's deadly, on the run.
Oh, in and out of Beckford's hands. I'll tell you, it was a low throw. Sullivan kind of sidearmed it a little bit. Beckford was going down for it, but as he caught it, he bounced, and then you lost
Yeah.
it. So
That was a well-thrown ball. Nobody else was going to catch that but Beckford.
it was one of those close but no cigar plays.
Yeah.
So we'll replay with the loss of a down there. So now 2nd and 10. But the good news, again, for the Cougars, the incomplete pass, it stops the clock. They don't have to burn a timeout. So 1:15 now.
Well, you know what they say about close. That only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
3 men in the back. Trey Morris getting some direction from Coach Nalen.
Flag.
And that's going to be a
Beckford jump.
false start.
Yeah, number 10, Beckford jumped. He's kind of off to the races a little ahead of time.
See Matt Cliff in the foreground here. He's on the sidelines taking some practice kicks into the net. We may see a field goal attempt before this half is done if the Cougars can get a little further. Now with the 5-yard penalty, they're backed up just a bit. Saw Durfee, saw the Hilltoppers quarterback Jaron Vieira. He also does the kicking, and just a couple weeks ago, he kicked a field goal in excess of 30 yards at the end of the half, which was really impressive. You just don't see field goals that often in high school football.
No, it's kind of a loss. Not a lost start. They don't get to work it as much as they would like.
Sullivan really just had nowhere to go. Pressure was coming. He was getting towards the sidelines and made the smart move. He held the ball, and he went out of play to stop the clock. I think it was a loss of a yard.
No, he may be right back to that line of scrimmage. I'm not
I
sure.
think he did, actually. I think you're right. So
Third
we'll go
and
with 3rd
15.
and 15 with just over 60 seconds. And I'm sure the Cougars would love to get at least 10 more yards, maybe give Matt Cliff a chance to boot one through the uprights.
I think if they can get the ball down around a 20, he can hit from that 25-yard line, 27-yard line.
Yeah, that's not asking too much.
No, it'd be about a 37-yard kick. There he goes, Sullivan.
Sullivan taken down across the 30, so this would be
That's that right side defensive end, 86. He's got some real good quickness, that young man.
he does. Joseph Spinola, a tight end, a senior this year, 6'3", 225.
Got to put a helmet on that boy.
So the Cougars will let time run down here. It's 4th and about 12. They just can't kick it from here, though, so I think they're just going to run a play. So nice job by the defense of Mashpee to really collapse the running game here. And actually good defense down the field, too, because Sullivan having to throw on the run. Sullivan couldn't find anybody open. That's why he was forced to run. So 18.5 on the clock. Coach Nalen calls timeout at the last possible second before the play clock hit 0. And it's the second timeout for the Cougars. So, Coach, your thoughts here as we wrap up this first half. Who knows if we'll see any more points. We have 18 seconds. But really a tightly contested game. This is kind of what I expected. I'm not sure about you, but this is what I kind of envisioned this one to be.
Yeah, I didn't think this would be a blowout. I talked to some of the kids earlier this week, and we were talking about the teams you're going to be facing, and everybody that gets to the playoffs they're good teams. That's why they're in the playoffs.
Exactly.
So, you got to hang in there, stick to your game plan, play your game, believe in what you've been taught, and try to execute. So we'll see what happens here.
Well, guess what? Matt Cliff is on the field, and so is Kevin Sullivan. They're going to go for a field goal, which would essentially be 45 yards. Matt Cliff looking to make it 10-6 with a 45-yarder. Wind blowing across the field right to left, so he'll have to aim a little to the right. And that's going to be short and to the left. Now you're going to play coverage and stop the Falcons. As they stop him in the end zone. Able to come out. Oh, my goodness. That was number 24, Devon Ford, a freshman. So it didn't pan out, but, you know, I give the Cougars credit to even go for it. And now with 4.6 on the clock, we have one snap. So that worked out pretty well for Connolly.
Yeah, it does. And it, you know, if you punt down there, the chances are you punt it in the end zone. So it actually worked out better than a punt.
Exactly. Why not take a shot and see if you can't sneak 3 points out of it? It basically was the same as a punt. Now, if they had tackled him in the end zone, it'd be a dead ball. It wouldn't be a safety, would it? Or would it be a safety because he attempted to come out?
If he was attempting to if he didn't take the knee and he was attempting to come out, and tackle there would have been 2 points for Connolly.
And I'll tell you, little room to take a knee, too. He was right on the 1 yard line. Got to be careful because that could have been a safety as well. So Bishop Connolly clinging to a 1 point lead here after one half of play. This has been a really exciting back and forth game. It's a game of defenses tonight between Bishop Connolly and Mashpee. Second half coming up next on Fred TV. Second half about to get underway here at Bishop Connolly High School. It's the South Division 6 quarterfinals between the Cougars and the visiting Mashpee Falcons. Connolly seeded 3. That's why they get the home field advantage. Mashpee seeded 6th. Evan Massoud along with Coach Bear here on Fred TV Channel 9. Mashpee deferred after winning the coin toss, so they will open this second half with possession. The Cougars will kick it off. And they kick it down the field. I thought it was going to go out of bounds. Instead, it was picked up. That was Devon Ford on the kick return for the Falcons, and they'll have a 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line or thereabouts. High school sports provide an extension of the classroom where students learn to pursue excellence, the value of working with others toward a common goal, playing within the structure of established rules, discipline, loyalty, and emotional control. The MIAA urges you to demonstrate your support for these values and for our young people by attending high school competitions in your community. And with that, the second half here is underway, and that was carried and stopped in the backfield. I believe that was Devon Ford again, number 24. So didn't get very far on the kickoff return. He had to kind of just smother the ball. And now that time, Coach, stopped in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, it looks like about a 2-yard loss. I didn't get the number of the player on the tackle, but it looks like they've adjusted to the speed of Mashpee, which is really good because if they can get to that corner, that can really hurt you.
Well, really, one of the only guys carrying this evening for Mashpee that has had any success was number 5. That was Deshaun Dias.
Ball's loose.
It did come loose, it appeared, but down by contact, so no live ball there. The Cougars just get the stop again in the backfield. So 3rd and 11 coming up. Mashpee handed Bishop Connolly a 3-and-out to begin the game after they kicked off. How nice would it be for Connolly to return the favor?
Oh, that'd be wonderful, I'll tell you. It'd make this old coach happy.
3rd and 12 according to the scoreboard. We'll see if Mashpee passes. They really haven't tonight. Going to go deep down the field, and it is complete across the 50. Wow, what a catch.
I'll tell you, this young man throws a very nice ball also.
That was number 5, Deshaun Dias on the catch. An amazing catch in double coverage. Real gutsy throw by Nick Carpenter to actually go and target Dias when he had 2 men on him. So across midfield, Mashpee once again with a big play, grabbing a big chunk of yardage. We saw that on their only scoring drive of the game. Now Dias trying to cut back in. taken down just shy of the 40 and shy of the first down. But on that scoring drive for the Falcons in that first half, this is what propelled them to score. A couple of big plays.
Yeah, they get that big yardage on the passes, a missed tackle and a big run. So, it is where we got to, the defense has got to dig in and try to stonewall these guys right here.
That is for sure. 2nd and 3. Dias with the first down. Dias with a few more. Another nice run for Dias as the Falcons move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Connolly 30. Oh, a fumble on the snap. And is that a flag coming in too? It looks like it. Actually, that might have been a marker. Oh, no, it is a flag.
It's yellow. Holding. All right, well, we take that, push them back 10.
And that's from
the spot of the foul.
So from the fumble spot, another 10 yards. So it'll be a 1st and 21. We replay first down after the penalty. So 1st and 21. Got to get to the 20. They're backed up to the 41. That's a lateral. That was a backwards pass. And Devon Ford able to come down with it and grab a couple of yards. Nice job, though, by the Cougars defense, limiting Ford to just that short pickup. This is a big spot for the Cougars D.
You're starting to see the Mashpee linemen do a good job of cutting the D ends. Trevor Reese coming off a little hobbled here.
Yeah, we see that. So he'll be out for a snap.
Oh, looks like he's got a cramp, yeah?
Yep.
Hamstring.
Cold night will do that for you. Breeze is picking up a little bit.
Nice defensive play by Bobby Alves.
A slew of Cougars taking care of that rushing play. Dias not able to cut in. It's a loss of yards. They give him a loss of 1 to be exact. And that'll end up being a 3rd and 19.
Yeah, he had 51. Alves made the initial contact, and Sean O'Connor finished them off.
And this is one of those 3rd down plays you cannot, if you're Bishop Connolly, you're clinging to a 1-point lead. You cannot allow the Falcons to get to a position to try to convert on a 4th down. They got to stop them here, well back. Oh, there's a false start.
That'll push them back a few more.
The play was whistled dead. False start. We saw the linesman jump. 5-yard penalty, and it's going to be 3rd and long. More than 20 yards to gain here for the Falcons.
Looks like about a 24-yard, yeah.
Not easy to do. And I think you might even see Connolly with a couple extra defensive players back deep a little bit, maybe just to cover a little added help in the secondary on such a long play. But first, the timeout for Mashpee. Got to try to figure out what they want to do. Head coach Matt Treveri wants to make sure that on this long 3rd down play, the Falcons have the right formation there on the field.
Well, this is where you want to. You don't want to get beat on another long pass. Big defensive play here would be great. See if you get a pick or something. Or maybe Ortiz busting it up the middle. Get himself a sack.
Got to avoid that big play. We did see one turnover in this game. Chathan Nera picking off Carpenter on a 2-point conversion. 3rd and 24 from the 44. Going to go to the side. Juggled. And taken down. Yes, way short is right. But I like the idea. That left side was pretty open. I'll tell you, on this side, that freshman, Devon Ford, we've said his name a few times tonight. He jumped. I thought he took a stride and started leaning before the snap as well. So Mashpee might have gotten away with a false start on this side as well.
Yeah, them dreaded zebras again. So we got a 4th and 15 here, and
it looks like Mashpee's going to go for it. Would this be your call? If you were coaching right now, would you go for it or would you punt?
I think they have a second thoughts.
Yeah,
Mashpee just took another timeout. I think that's their second one, right?
That's their second one here in the second half.
And in the third quarter, that could become a factor later in the game.
We'll wait and see. This one, I think this was just a 20-second timeout, not a full team. They wanted to take a look at the defensive alignment is my guess. They break the huddle. We'll see if the Cougars play a little safe with a couple extra guys back. Make sure nobody gets by, no deep passes. Carpenter looking to pass. Carpenter has pressure. Carpenter's going to go down well shy of the first down. 10 yards short. Cougars take over on downs.
Looked like O'Connor made him step to the left a little, and Bobby Alves got him from behind. Nice job on the defense.
So that's another 4th down stop for the Cougars tonight.
You know, games like this are exciting, but they sure do wear on a coach's nerves.
I know
I'm not even coaching anymore.
I'm sure both coaches would love to see the score be like 40-0, so they can just breathe. Have it be either side, but nonetheless, still a 1-point game here. Bishop Connolly is leading, and there's a flag. Delay of game on the Cougars. That's a 5-yard penalty. Getting a little sloppy here.
Yeah.
We've seen some penalties in this second half, more than the first.
Taking a page out of the Mashpee playbook there.
That's right. They got called on that earlier. So 1st and 15. Sullivan has pressure. Still on his feet. Still dashing. Unbelievable. Sullivan with a 10-yard pickup.
What a play. 10 yards.
Oh, my gosh. He was determined as ever. Got the penalty yards plus another 5. Nowhere to pass it. I'll tuck it under my arm and I'll just take it. So it'll be 2nd and 5 after the 10-yard pickup for Sullivan. Calling his own number that time.
You know, if you get to know Kevin, he's an easygoing kid and good-natured, but he is a fierce competitor.
Fakes. Oh, and he slips. I'll tell you, that's just like what we saw. I believe it was Andrade, if memory serves right. Andrade slipped for the Falcons on a rushing play. That time Sullivan lost his footing as well. Almost the same type of thing. And you said that this side of the field was a little bit softer, still a little muddier than the other side.
Yeah.
After the rain that we had.
Yeah, from about that 35-yard line in it's slick. So
that ends up being a loss of 5. So it'll bring up 3rd and 10. Beckford in motion. High snap, pressure coming. Look out, Sullivan, he escapes. Sullivan's gonna run it. Sullivan's still on his feet. A stiff arm, trying to get to the 40.
And he may have gotten it.
Oh my goodness.
He may have gotten it.
We'll see the spot.
I'll tell you, what a play.
You don't see a quarterback give a stiff arm very often.
No.
That's a favorable spot
First
in my opinion.
down.
First
All
down,
right.
Cougars.
Oh,
baby.
I said he is a fierce competitor.
Yes, you did. That was an incredible run for Sullivan. But I'll tell you, I'm going to be honest with you, I thought his head made it to that spot. The ball I thought was under his arm, so I think the Cougars got a break there on the spot. They got a slightly favorable spot. First down, they move the chains. That's a big one for Connolly.
I guess them zebras ain't so bad after all.
Well, like we said in the first half, right? Being an official in any sport is really not a forgiving job.
It's tough.
I don't envy them at all. Sullivan dropped way back to throw that pass.
Yeah.
That's not the right direction to go. It was complete to Kafori, but Kafori was coming back for it because everything was shifted back, and they ended up losing yards on that. They lost about 1.5 yards.
Yeah, I think Kafori was more of an outlet, safety outlet there, and he was well covered.
Well, I guess it's either lose a yard and a half or lose maybe 12 on a sack. So Sullivan got it off.
This is where that O-line's got to dig in and play some good football because they've been getting a lot of pressure on Kevin. So
they'll hand it off. We really haven't seen
there goes
Jay McClure. Oh, he got tripped up. There's a flag.
I think
he
we
was
got a horse
down.
collar.
I think so too because it's like he ran into a clothesline. Jay McClure on the carry. But it sure looked like, again, it's on the far side of the field, but it sure looked like
face mask, I think.
A tough tackle there. We have the Falcons.
It's against Connolly.
Falcons are clapping. Face mask. And it's on the Cougars. Go figure.
15-yarder.
Wow.
That really hurts.
McClure went down so hard, I don't know how you could call the face mask on him. He was the one getting tackled. Again, far side of the field, though, we can't see that far. Not with the glare from the lights.
Yeah, and it might not have been on him. It might have been somebody up in that line of scrimmage. And
So 2nd and 22, and there's a flag going deep. It's incomplete. That flag play was not called dead. I was just going to say offsides because the play was allowed to continue. On a false start, it's a dead play, but they do allow the continuation if it's on the defense. So an offsides, and that'll give the Cougars back a couple of yards. A lot of penalties here in the third quarter.
Yeah, it's sloppy, very sloppy.
You think that's maybe the adrenaline getting to both sides as well now? Latter half of the game, it's anybody's game.
Yeah, some of that, and some of it could be just frustration. You know, neither team's really moving the ball with any ease, so you start to get a little tight, get a little sloppy, make some foolish mistakes. You know.
We got to remember that these are not pros. This is just high school players playing a game that they love. So, they don't do it for money. They do it because they want to play in front of their fans. That's what it comes down to, and that's why high school sports are just, so
Sullivan
great.
on a run.
Sullivan again. First down, Connolly. Across midfield, Kevin Sullivan has been the hero on this drive, let me tell you. Every time there's been a big play for long yardage, Cougars backed up, Sullivan coming through, not in the air, but on the ground.
That was the best run of the night for Connolly.
It was. Power right up the middle.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, the Cougars are taking a lot of time off of this clock. Under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. And now they are on Mashpee's side of the field. They hand it off again.
Jay McClure?
I think so. McClure is hearing some of the Cougars crowd getting a little over anxious too. Alluding to your late whistle calls you mentioned earlier, the officials are not quick to blow the whistle tonight.
Yeah, I mean, young man's forward progress is stopped. He's being held up like that. Somebody comes in late and puts a real big hit on him. That young man could be hurt seriously. It's
a risk that's not necessary.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, it is. Exactly right.
2nd and 9, Sullivan will roll out, throw on the run. He does this so well, and nobody home. There was nobody there. Morris was down the field, and he slipped. I think maybe he was supposed to cut back and try to get back to that ball.
That looked like what he was trying to do.
And he just slipped. He lost his footing. So, again, the slightly soggy field coming into play here. Again, we got a lot of rain just 2 nights ago. You said that you had to repaint all the lines this week after they had already been painted once. So rain washed them away. Sullivan looking to go up the middle. Oh!
Almost intercepted.
Picked. And I'll tell you what, that was number 3 of the defense, Nick Carpenter. That's the quarterback on defense, and he knows he had that one right in his arms, and he lost it when he fell to the ground. So the Cougars will have to punt Ball is at the 49 of Mashpee. It'll get kicked off from about or punted away from about the 38. Good snap, good punt. I think a fair catch signal was given there, so Mashpee will start behind the 20. So they'll start pretty deep.
Somewhere around that 16-yard line.
After the Cougars quarterback Kevin Sullivan had some really nice runs in that drive, some really long dashes. Cougars come up short, and they continue to cling to this 1-point lead with under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Mashpee will look to try to grab their first lead of the night on this drive. They could have taken the lead when they scored and answered Connolly with the 6 points, but the 2-point conversion was unsuccessful after Chethan Era picked off Carpenter, and that's been the difference in this one.
Yeah, aside from the sloppy play, it has been a defensive struggle all evening.
Short gain on first down. We'll bring up about 2nd and 7, we'll call it. 15 seconds before we switch sides for the final time. Looks like the Falcons will get one more play off. They do, and they'll pound it on the ground. That looks like Dias. You can tell by his short stature. 2, 1, and 0. That's 3 quarters in the books. The Cougars have never trailed in this one, but they are in danger of losing their lead with the Falcons beginning this drive here, carrying over into the fourth quarter. Your point of view, Coach Bear. Final act here from Connolly. 1-point game. What are the coaches telling the players right now?
I think telling them to, stay true to what they've been taught. Hang in there, get tough. Again, the defensive line, they've got to settle in and stop that running game. The last thing you need now is for Mashpee to, eat up a bunch of time. The good thing is we're headed into the slick and sloppy part of the field.
That's true. The Falcons will have to really dig deep, literally, to get their footing as they take off on what has been the slicker side, a little bit wetter. They'll be starting here at the 25 on a 3rd and 2 when we come back to this fourth quarter and the teams hit the field. Mashpee breaks their huddle. More than 200,000 students will participate in approximately 100,000 high school sports competitions among the MIAA's 360 member schools each year. Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association encourages you to support your local high school athletic programs and the students who participate in them. Evan Massoud and Coach Bear with you here at Bishop Connolly High School's Caron Track and Stadium for the South D6 quarterfinals between the number 3 seed Bishop Connolly Cougars and number 6 seed Mashpee Falcons. The hometown Cougars lead by 1, but Mashpee has just moved the chains, and they are trying to take the lead for the first time. They trail 7-6 here with the final 11 minutes rolling.
Yeah, Connolly was in a 5-man front that time. They had gotten out of their 3-man front, and Mashpee very, very wisely took it to the edge.
We haven't seen that actually too much. Both sides really pounding it up the middle and forcing the linesmen to have to play defense. That run was very different than what we've been seeing all night long.
Well, I think that's a testament to the sloppy conditions out there.
There's a stop.
There you go. And the ball's on the ground. Wow, there was a quick whistle.
You're right.
All night it's been a slow whistle. The young man gets hit. He was not on the ground. The ball come out, but they're saying they blew the whistle and he was down. I don't know. Sometimes I feel that they're watching a different game.
That one could have gone either way. Mashpee keeps possession. It'll be 2nd and 9 from the 32. Everybody on the Connolly side thought it was their ball. You have the entire team standing right there. Sideline's not very big either. They're right on the field. Carpenter floats it up the middle, and it is reeled in.
Big number 86.
Joseph Spinola coming down with it, the 6'3" tight end.
I'll tell you, that was a beautiful call. You had Connolly, no safety back deep. You had 2 corners that looked like 4 linebackers and 5 down linemen.
Cougars fans getting a little anxious right now. First real big pressure point in this one. Dias takes the carry. He'll pick up about 5 or 6. With time would not be on Conley's side if they allow some points here to Mashpee.
Here comes Trevor Reese. He's coming out again.
Still kind of hobbling out, and again, that same side.
I don't know. I think he's holding that hip now.
They're going to stretch again.
There's the trainer, Sandra Costello, taking a look at him, trying to stretch it out.
We'll keep an eye on Reese. Meanwhile, back to the field. There's a 4-yard gain on first down, 2nd and 6. They'll pass it. Beautiful pass.
Uncovered.
Completely uncovered. Does he get in? No, shy of the goal line. There's another one of those big plays that we've been talking about. The Cougars have not allowed too many of them, but there's been more lately. And this is not the time to start folding defensively.
Yeah, that young man was out there in a flat, and he was completely uncovered. And
it looked like number 80, Sean O'Connor, might have missed the route there a little bit because I saw him well back from the receiver. I think that was Ford, number 24.
I believe it was.
1st and goal for the Falcons, and Dias just shy of the touchdown. Maybe about a yard short. This is very close to the end zone. I don't think there's really much more room to go there.
No, he's got to be.
He's like at the half-yard marker.
Yeah, he's got to be knocking on that door for sure.
2nd and goal from the goal line, we'll call it. Mashpee looking to take their first lead of the night. QB sneak. Carpenter is in. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. The Bishop Connolly sidelines quiet as can be.
Well, now it's gut check time now.
It's 12-7, and the Cougars trail for the first time all night.
This is where you find out what you're made of.
And it looks like the Falcons are going to go for the 2-point conversion again and try to make it a 7-point lead. Again, unsuccessful in their first try at the 2-point conversion. We'll see if they can convert this time. Again, taking a long time in the huddle. I wish we had a play clock because I'll tell you, there's been quite a few times Mashpee is, and they got called on it once, as we recall. Mashpee taking quite a while in the huddle. They fake the handoff. They're going to pass it to the corner. It's reeled in.
Number 5, yep.
It's a 7-point lead for the Mashpee Falcons. 14-7 the score with 7:23 to play in the game.
I'm watching Nero run over to the huddle there. It looks like he's a little gimp on that leg.
Yeah, you're right. I got to be honest, I'd like to see, I'd almost like to see Coach Nalen call a timeout right at the start of this drive, right after the Cougars receive the kickoff, and make sure that everybody remembers to do their job because there's still plenty of time in this game.
Oh, yeah. It is. You put a good drive together, you could eat up the clock. And then once you score, it's whether you want to tie it, you want to go for the win, then it'd be another decision at that time. But
exactly.
Get the drive and get the 6 points on the board and cross the other bridge when you get to that.
Mm-hmm. One step at a time, one play at a time. That's going to go out of bounds, and that's a flag. So that's a little break for the Cougars.
Yeah, they'll get that ball, I believe, on a 35 or 40. Or they could have them re-kick it, but...
Not bad field position, and it looks like, I didn't hear a whistle for a timeout, but Coach Nalen is in the huddle with his team. So trying to use maybe some of the play clock here while they reset the field without having to burn a timeout. I like that. A 7-0 season on the line. The Cougars trail by 7 with just over 7 to play. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Connolly 33. They need 67 yards for the end zone. You mentioned Nara. Nara is back in, but Sullivan brought down behind the line for a sack.
I don't know, I was watching right tackle Adam Palomini. He looked like he stepped for a linebacker, left 86 unblocked, 68 rather. And he just stepped in and got a hold of Sullivan.
He did, and Sullivan, I believe, lost a yard on that. No, they actually give him the line of scrimmage. So we got back to it. It'll be 2nd and 10. Wide receivers lined up on the right side. Nara and Morris. Almost picked off. That was thrown right in the direction of Jack Rodriguez. Right at him. I don't know that Sullivan even saw him. Morris was crossing. And I think Sullivan was looking at Morris. Rodriguez was just right there in the middle.
Yeah, I don't think he saw him either. It was...
There is the timeout that I was mentioning earlier that I was expecting it would be coming. Coach Nalen with everybody huddled up on a 3rd and 10 coming up. Mashpee's rejuvenated. The defense hoping for a 3 and out.
Maybe Connolly shouldn't have sent that bus to go rescue them off the highway.
That's right. This one started almost an hour late. Mashpee had issues with the bus, transportation problems trying to get here. So the kickoff was delayed. Everybody had to wait, fans and players alike, broadcasters as well. We all had to wait for this one to get underway.
Parking lot attendants, so all of us. Doing triple duty today, folks.
Wide receivers left and right. Sullivan will take the snap on 3rd and 10. Nara is wide open. Sullivan is sacked on 3rd down. The offensive line collapsed under pressure, and the Cougars are going to have to punch it away. There is absolutely no way you can go for it on 4th down at this side of the field.
Yeah, Trevor Reese got steamrolled on that. He got beat. And Sullivan got laid out.
Well, you had to figure, if you're Mashpee, you have to figure that Connolly was probably going to pass the ball. And so why not, coming out of the timeout, you just bring the full rush.
Oh, yeah. Pin your ears back. Go get them.
Here comes the punt. Dias, look at it. There's a loose ball, but it looks like the Falcons will keep it. Oh, a big break for the Falcons. Cougars almost got that one right back.
Yeah, Falcons are on their 49, so it looks like they got a short field here.
5:54 on the clock. The Cougars trail 14-7. Falcons have the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 49.
This is where that big defensive play would really be handy.
Well, again, Connolly is, I don't know if you could necessarily call it a turnover because the play ended up being dead because Nara didn't get to the end zone, but Nara did pick off Carpenter on that 2-point conversion back in the first half. Other than that, really no luck on the turnovers. We saw down here on the last drive for the Falcons, we thought there was a turnover, but the whistle was blown.
Yeah, there was a couple of fumbles, or what I thought were fumbles tonight that they were ruled down by contact by the Falcons. Looks like they may want to be trying to run the clock out and grind it out on the ground here.
Second and about
Yep.
6. Dias
Yep.
will carry it. He's shy of the first down. It'll bring up third and short, maybe about 2 or 3 to go. 3 yards to go. Ball at the 35. Just inside the 35, rather. Oh, I'm sorry, 45. I keep forgetting we're not right at the 50. So for me, the 40 on the right side of the field is basically the 50 from where we're stationed here. So that's the 44-yard line of Connolly on a 3rd and 3. Cougars allow the first down. A good power run. That looked like number 23, Dominic Fellini. Haven't really seen him at all tonight. They turn the page and go with somebody different on the carry, and it's successful on 3rd down. 1st and 10, Falcons. They move the chains. They're inside the 40.
This is the time of the game where offensive linemen, they love this. They know they're going to run the ball. They can just tee off and go out and get after people. They're coming off the ball real strong.
I have to be honest, I think the offensive line is gotten better as the night has gone on.
Yeah, it looks like they're starting to wear Connolly down a little bit.
Coach Nayland calling timeout again for the Cougars. That stops the clock at 4:07. I'll tell you one thing. It's got colder throughout the game, but nobody has left.
No, the crowd has hung in, and these stands are a little quiet right now, but, one big play could turn that all around.
That's true. And, aside from some of the flags, maybe a break or two, depending on which way you want to see it. Mashpee has played about as clean of a game as you can play. Actually, to be honest, I think the same could be said for Connolly as well. I mean, we've really seen it all, but when it comes down to it, this has been well played by both sides. Another timeout for Connolly.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely no blowout. It's which team's going to be able to impose their will upon the other here, and this is when young men are really tested.
Well, that was a good stop on 2nd down, so this 3rd down conversion will be a 3rd and 4. As there's Deliker, number 59, coming back in. So a 3rd and 4 this time instead of 3rd and 3. So the Cougars get an extra yard to work with. Another big stop here. More important to know is Trevor Reese still on the sidelines. That's going to be, I think, another 1st down. It's going to be awfully close.
I think with a spot, he's going to be maybe a yard or 2 short.
You're right. Good eyes, Coach. About a yard and a half, we'll call it, and another timeout for Connolly. They stopped the clock. Good time management here. They've only lost 13 seconds over the last 3 plays. Quick timeouts, using them effectively. 3:54 on the clock on a 4th. It says 4th and 1, but it looks like more than a yard. We'll say 4th and 1.5.
Yeah, this is a big play for Connolly here. A big defensive stop, would still give them, 3 minutes, 45 seconds possibly on the clock. Come back, make a drive, put the drive together to do, to get back on, get out in front. But
and if you're Mashpee, there's really no other options here. You go for it.
yeah,
You're fairly deep in Cougars territory. I don't see why they would take a field goal. They're leading. So you go for it on 4th down, and you hope that you can move the chains.
well, if they would have tried a field goal, it would be a long one.
It would.
So I would think, the philosophy you just spoke of is right. Go for the 1st down. If not, Connolly's inside their 30.
Big play, and it looks like the 4th down conversion may be a good one.
They're moving the chains already. They're not even waiting for the officials. And that chain gang is an official chain gang
Yes.
that the high school hired. It's not volunteers on them chains, so.
So it is a first down. They got about a yard and a half extra on that, so just enough to move the chains. And that's going to be deflating for the Cougars. Time is rolling now.
Yeah. Yeah, the clock becomes Connolly's enemy at this point.
You got to be careful. There is.
Well,
Oh, that play ruled dead. That's going to be a false start. But you know, Cougars burned the timeouts in hopes they could get that stop last time, and it didn't happen. And so now they have to be careful on how they use the timeouts because now they're limited.
yeah, now you're looking for that turnover. Short from getting a turnover. You know, you had 3 minutes, 18 seconds to go. It's not a lot of time.
Basically, for turnover-wise, you're going to draw the ball loose because there's going to be no passing here. Oh, outside is Dias. Has some room. First down and more. Nara tackles him just shy of the 5. First and goal for Mashpee.
Well, that might have just broke Connolly's back, unfortunately. He couldn't hold that edge. He got outside the contain, and there was nothing down that sideline to stop him. Nara made a heck of a play coming over to keep him out of the end zone.
He did everything that he could. Now under 3 minutes. That touchdown drive, the 3 and out on defense, and Mashpee is pumped up right now with this late resurgence. First and goal from the 7-yard line. They give it to Dias, who will carry it and be stopped short. Looks like Delacour was in on that tackle. So second and goal, maybe a yard worth of positive yardage there. Forward progress. 2 minutes to play in the game. Mashpee looking to put this one away. Toss it out to Dias. Dias has a seam.
Oh, they
he stopped
him short.
just short again. Looks like the half-yard line again. This time Connolly will call timeout with 1:47 to play. And this is 4-down territory too, so third down, but you're basically looking at a second down here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a testament to these young men. You know, time is against them, but they haven't given up yet. They're still fighting hard down there to keep that young man out of the end zone.
Now, there's no giving up in Fall River sports. These teams across the city don't know what it means to give up. So, like we said, you play till the bell tolls.
You know, as a coach, I used to tell kids all the time that when you go on a football field, you're playing 2 games out there. There's a game of score and a game of heart. In a game like this, even though one team has a better score, there are no losers. If you play with everything you've got inside of you, you really have nothing to be ashamed of.
That's very true. Well said. So it's a 3rd and 1. The Cougars need the stop of a lifetime here to keep their season alive. I should say the playoff run alive, really, if we're being, specific, because the season isn't over. The Cougars will have footballs.
Right.
Just the tournament, they'll be out.
He's in.
Touchdown, Mashpee, and that's going to do it. Deshaun Dias on the carry. And Mashpee gets into the end zone for the 3rd time tonight, 2nd time in this 4th quarter. It's 20-7.
And the crowd's starting to thin out. Minute 43 to go.
They are, yes. Fans starting to now file out of the Karen Track and Stadium after that dagger in the heart by the Falcons. they really controlled this fourth quarter. I'd say actually really the second half. They've controlled the second half, and that's what they needed to do. They were trailing. They go for the 2-point conversion here, and I believe they're going to be stopped short. No good on the 2 points. It's 20-7, but the Cougars have very little time to try to mount a comeback of 2 scores. On paper, it is doable, but realistically, maybe not so much.
Yeah, it'd be like a mission impossible right now.
Yes.
You know, hope and a prayer, though. You never know.
You never know. That's the beauty of live sports. Crazier things have happened.
While we're waiting for this kickoff, if it's all right with you, I'd like to give a shout out to a young lady we both know. She's out in California, Shauna Corey and her sister. Here they're doing really well out there. It's nice to see local teens, young ladies pursuing their dream out there, and I wish them well. You know, they're great, come from a great family. So,
yes, I grew up with them, and Jana worked with us for 3 years on Common Thread News on the government channel. So, you know, she knows our operation here as well, and we're sad to see her go with Julia, but yes, you know, they are doing great things, and last I heard, things are really going well for them. Falcons hit the field, ready to kick it off.
I think you can pretty much expect either a squib or a little pooch kick. You don't want to kick to your deep guys.
We've seen both teams actually do that tonight. They have avoided the deep kick. Coach Nalen told me he was going to do that, and they've stayed true to it. And Mashpee doing the same thing. We're hearing that Blue Hills defeated Nantucket. Nantucket was the higher seed. Blue Hills defeated them 24-21. So it appears that Mashpee and Blue Hills may be squaring off in the next round unless a miracle happens.
So I'm wondering who we're going to draw. It doesn't.
That's true, because there'll be a loser's bracket, if
Right.
you will, a non-playoff bracket for the teams that get eliminated here in the quarterfinals. Had the Cougars held the lead and Blue Hills, they ended up knocking off Nantucket, Connolly would not have been traveling to the island. They would have been hosting here next week for the semifinals. Unfortunately, again, it doesn't look like that's going to happen with the score as it is. 20-7, the Falcons lead it with just over 90 seconds to play in the game. Sullivan dropping back, the pass goes up the middle, and it is picked off.
That's the
Number
game.
3 with the pick. Nick Carpenter, the quarterback, on the pick. How about that? With 92 seconds to play, the Falcons can line up as a formality now and just let the clock run out. Cougars had to pick up big chunks of yards, and you saw the secondary was flooded with Falcons. They were all over it, playing a safe defense, not allowing any big passes down the field, and it cost the Cougars right there.
Yeah, and they had a good pass rush on that time. They were going with 4 down linemen, and that lifty D in there, I believe it's number 68 or 66, I'm not sure. He got on that outside shoulder of number 70, Adam Palomini, and he was off to the races. He just spun him. And
so the QB with the interception. We don't normally get to say that very often. But nonetheless, the Falcons do take over after one snap. This fourth quarter has really been all Mashpee. And with 92 seconds, they'll look to just let this clock run out. I think the Cougars may have just one timeout. I know they've used at least 3. They might have used 4.
Yeah, you've got to really hope and pray for that turnover right here, because otherwise they're going to take a knee. Even if you take a timeout, you know, they don't have to.
And Coach Nalen not calling timeout, so that's going to end up doing it.
Well, now it's up to the Connolly faithful and these young men on the sideline who've had such a great season, and it isn't over yet. To pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and get ready for whoever their opponent is next week. They could still have the best overall record the school has ever had.
That's right. Last year they set the record. Was it 8 wins, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
And with 7 wins already after the regular season, they'll be 7-1 after tonight with under a minute to play now. Falcons will snap it and take a knee again. They'll be 7-1 with this loss here in the quarterfinals, but definitely an opportunity to set another new school record for wins. "35 seconds now, and there'll be one more snap.
Maybe not.
They do spot the ball. 15 seconds now.
And I think by putting at a late spot, that kind of...
No need for another knee.
Exactly.
5 seconds on the clock. The Mashpee Falcons have upset the Bishop Connolly Cougars on their home turf. The 7-0 season is no more. Cougars drop to 7-1 and are eliminated here in the quarterfinal round. Mashpee is moving on. They will face Blue Hills in the South D6 semifinal round. Final score here from Bishop Connolly is 20-7, and we really talked about it. Some of these big plays, I think, were the Cougars' downfall when it all comes down to it. Just those big plays, those couple instances. I think that's what kind of took the wind out of the sail of Connolly tonight.
Yeah, they for a while there they had them like 3rd and long, and they had those big 3 or 4 really big passes that got them the first down, and that really did hurt the Connolly defense. You make a play there or you get a break there, maybe you get a different outcome. But, these young men have nothing to be ashamed of.
Absolutely
They've had
not.
one heck of a season, and they're not done. They're not done. I think they'll rebound from this and go on and represent their school and represent them well. Congratulations to the Mashpee Falcons, but I take my hat off to these young men from Connolly. I know them, and I know what kind of young men they are. So
it was a fun night here at Bishop Connolly High School, the first ever night game. Friday night lights here with the temporary lights. It's been a lot of fun. Later this week, Durfee will come home, and they'll face off against Franklin. So we're hoping to be at that game, weather permitting. For now, for my colleague tonight, Coach Bear, our camera crew, Brandon Arrayes and Brooke Teves, we want to thank the Bishop Connolly Athletic Director, Cesar Gonzalez, as well as the Principal, Chris Myron, for their cooperation as well. And as always, the MIAA as well for these events that they put on, these sporting events. Final score one last time, 20-7, Mashpee over Bishop Connolly. I'm Evan Massoud. We'll see you again real soon.